Hi Libra, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your August 2021 love reading. Thank you to those of you who like, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge and the gap spread. And the way it works is we'll look at the past energies, present energies, and future energies between you and your main love interest. Then we'll also pull some oracle cards for some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Tarot Sexual Magic. And also keep in mind that while I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as the energy and the cards on the right as the other person's, if you feel more like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Two of Cups. So this is actually Cancer energy here. So for some of you, this could just be saying that maybe this is a connection that started around Cancer season, possibly early in the Cancer season as well. But more than anything, what I always point out with this deck in particular, when it comes to the Two of Cups, usually with the Two of Cups, it's a very bright, sunny atmosphere. Here we see there's the lightning in the background. One of the cups is knocked over. Definitely looks like there's a storm going on, right? So could just be saying that you guys might have had a bit of a bumpy start to get to that point, but it looks like there was definitely some genuine love and affection toward each other. All right, past energy on their side. We have the Seven of Wands. So this is Leo energy here. So perhaps there might have been some kind of a misunderstanding in the past because the Seven of Wands usually represents successfully defending yourself around something. So there could have been some kind of disconnect. To put it at a super generic basic level, let's just say that maybe during Gemini season you might have had an argument with each other, right? Then once the dust from the retrograde settled, you guys were able to clear things up. Could be as simple as that, but that's just a practical way it could have played out, but that's the general vibe I'm getting there. See if anything else comes to mind with that. Could be someone that you might have been friends with for a while too, since Leo energy is your 11th house, but that's what I'm seeing there. Alright. Present energy on your side, we have the Two of Arrows. So this is Libra energy here. And usually this represents someone trying to make a decision based strictly on logic, not trying to factor in emotions, not trying to factor in love or anything like that. But that's what I'm kind of feeling here. But it could just be saying, so maybe for some of you, you still weren't ready. And maybe that's what this is about. With that spilled cup there, that could have just been saying that in the past you might not have been ready. So there could have been that attraction toward each other and the draw there, but you might not have really been able to actually move forward with the connection. And with the Two of Arrows in the present, it could just be saying that you might still be thinking that over, and whether you can do it or not. You might be getting some signs and synchronicities, whether while you're dreaming or just, when you're out and about doing your everyday things, you might be getting signs and synchronicities regarding this connection, but you might be actually disregarding them. That's what I'm kind of feeling there. All right, and present energy on their side. We have the Hierophant. So this is actually the major arcana card for Taurus. And for you guys, it's actually your 8th house. So it could just be saying that there's a lot of strong physical connection toward each other, a lot of intimacy possibly. But here, this does represent that energy of stability, commitment. So it could just be saying that this might be where the person's at. They might desire that with you. But like I said, it looks for you on your end, you might be a bit more indecisive around the situation. And future energy on your side, we have the Four of Coins. So this is actually Capricorn energy. So it's interesting to see you have 3 cardinal energies, which obviously you guys are also a cardinal sign, but to see them all come up in your spread, but yet they kind of represent not much movement with those energies at the same time. So it could just feel like a push-pull dynamic going on for you guys. Now, with this particular energy, it could just be saying that maybe you guys just decide to put more focus on your careers to, kind of distract yourselves from thinking about the connection. But for others of you, could actually be saying that the reason why you might not have been progressing with this person is there could still be someone from your past that you're not over yet. And again, that could be pointing to why we see that spilled cup and the Two of Cups and all the other stuff we've talked about. Because if we look at the artwork there, if I can get it to focus, there we go. If you look at her facial expression, she doesn't look all that happy, right? And then it looks like there's a figure back there in the background, but they're not physically in the room. So that's what makes you think that, for some of you might not be over someone from your past, and that could be what's kind of blocking you from moving forward with this connection. But like I said, for others of you, it could just be that for whatever reason you're resisting this connection, so that could represent the person on the right in the background here, but you're just trying to distract yourselves with work for whatever reason. All right, and future energy on their side. We have the Nine of Wands, Sagittarius energy, Queen of Swords, Libra energy, and Eight of Swords, Gemini energy. So the Nine of Wands is an energy that represents feeling pretty guarded, and here we see it looks like someone trying to speak and the other person's trying to cover their mouth, it looks like. And then Queen of Swords, this could represent your energy, of course, given that this is the court card for Libra. And then the Eight of Swords. So to me, this represents most likely they're the ones who are trying to move the connection forward, but it looks like you're just not ready yet. So with that Seven of Wands in the past, where I was saying for some of you might have been that you had a disconnect and they were actually able to defend themselves if there was some kind of falling out. Another way I could see this energy playing out too, now that we're looking at the spread as a whole, could just be saying that they might have been, trying to move towards you in the past, but because you weren't healed from something, you were resisting the connection. And that could still be the case now from what I'm seeing. And I feel like if that's the case, they might feel like they're not sure where to go with this either, I wouldn't necessarily say to give up, but that's kind of where I'm at, where I'm thinking that they just might be at a loss. Like, okay, I'm trying everything here, but Libra's resisting, so. And yeah, and if we look at the artwork here too, we see the woman looking over her shoulder at that figure in the stairs. So yeah, it could definitely represent that there's still something that you're not over from your past. All right. Bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Five of Coins. So this is Taurus energy here. Now, for some of you, could just be saying again, maybe with all the focus on finances. But the interesting thing here, we see the 4 to the 5, and we see the disappointed energy continues, right? So I don't know if this is saying that, if it's kind of a warning that that's not necessarily going to make the situation better. But for others of you, this could just be pointing to why you're really reluctant to move forward in this connection, right? Because if your previous connection was a situation where you might have felt like you were left out in the cold, right? On the one hand, you might have that hope that that person would return, and or that might just have you fearful of entering into a new connection because you're fearful of that cycle repeating in some way. So a few ways I could see that playing out, of course. Good thing is, beneath that we do see the Ace of Arrows, so I feel like you guys will probably get some clarity around this. Maybe with the second Aquarius full moon that we're going to have toward the end of Leo season, because it's going to be pretty close with Jupiter, and that's in your 5th house, romance, creativity. So that might be a nice energy to uplift you guys, maybe help you see things from a different perspective. And even the Leo new moon, that's going to be a pretty intense energy and a little bit tricky to navigate, but that's going to make a square with Uranus, which is in your 8th house. So that might help you put something to bed too that, maybe you've just been stuck on for a long time. All right, and bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Lovers. So this is the major arcana card for Gemini. So yeah, I mean, the Lovers, the Hierophant, it looks like they do have a lot of interest in you. Now, I do have to say, for some of you, maybe what could have you feeling reluctant to move toward them too is we do see there's 2 female energies here. Same thing with the Hierophant. So maybe you might feel like you have a little bit of difficulty trusting them, right? If they always have a lot of people around them. But I mean, from what I'm seeing anyway, it looks like they're on the up and up, but just wanted to at least mention that. See if anything else comes to mind with this. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. There's not really going to be much going on in Gemini for a while. The North Node is still there, but that's about it. All right, so we'll see what we get from the Oracle cards now. First, we'll see if we get anything from Aqua Moonlight deck. And I did pre-shuffle this deck before we started recording. I'm just looking for jumpers here. First, unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if I shuffle for a while without anything coming up, I'll just move on to the next oracle deck. But occasionally we get extra messages here. So we'll see if we get anything. Okay, got one there. And next we'll see if we get any from them to you. Oh, got one there. Okay. So let's see what we got. All right, we have letter. There we go. It says, seriously, with the freaking focus. There we go. It says I will be writing you a message. Yeah, I mean, in a way, I'm not sure I necessarily see cards that indicate that in the spread, but I mean, it does look like there is some need to communicate, right? So that in that regard, it would make sense. So that's what we have on your side, and on their side, we have freedom. It says I can't be tied down right now. I have too many interests. So I do have to say that's an interesting angle there, because I was just talking about how there's the two people in the Hierophant card, and then the same with the lovers. So, I mean, maybe that's part of what the resistance is on your part too, to be fair. So that kind of gives me a different perspective, where I don't know if that's going to be the case for all of you, but maybe that's why you've been reluctant to move forward in this connection with this person, because you might have felt like they were non-committal. And then if that's the case, that Five of Coins energy could just be saying that you've been there, done that, right? Where maybe you've dealt with someone who was like that in the past, and obviously it might not have ended out too well from the looks of the energy there. So I still don't necessarily feel like that's the case for all of you, but it's definitely possible for some of you, because I can see how that would fit in the spread. But for a lot of you, I was still getting the energy that primarily it seemed like you guys were the ones who were more resisting the connection, and they do seem like they're more open to it. So hopefully one of those storylines resonates with you anyway. And lastly, we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Same situation as far as I pre-shuffled this deck too, but we'll just pull one card here and then we'll wrap up. Oh, almost have one there. All right, so I'll just put the deck down and we'll pull a card. So give me a second to tune in and we'll pull one. Okay. We have co-create. There's the artwork. And the number is 40. All right, let's see what we got. All right, it says creativity, art, inspiration, fruition, manifestation. The Oracle's message: you may not consider yourself a creative person, but in fact you are creating your reality every moment of every day via your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, intentions, and actions. Yet you must consider that you do so in partnership with spirit, consciousness, God, or whatever name you call your higher power. You are a spark of this intelligence that works through you, nudging you with inspired thought and intuitive guidance. You are a paintbrush that co-creates a beautiful, unique expression of your own individuality, blended with universal spirit. You are a product of divine inspiration, and now you're aligned with it to create miracles. When you view your life as art and know you co-created, only beauty and grace result. Prepare to be amazed. So interesting message there, especially when it mentioned doing so in partnership with spirit, because it made me think of the fact that we do see the angel symbolism in the present position on your side, and really the spirit symbolism with the Hierophant on their side also. So whether you resonate with the energies on the left or the right, hopefully that message there resonated with you. Looks like that might be a good time to tune in. All right, the relationship message says connections of the heart serve to inspire you, opening you up to new ideas you never would have come to on your own. You are looking in the mirror held up by this experience and seeing yourself in an unexpected way. Who is this extraordinary being looking back at you? You are going to be so happy that you kept your heart open. Your love is a unique work of art now, the very embodiment of beauty. So interesting message there. I do have to say, like I said, the energy on the left doesn't look too open right now. So maybe that's somewhere you get somewhere down the line. But overall, hopefully those messages resonated with you. We'll wrap up there and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.